Some stories are warnings, others are just echoes, but a few follow you. In the flat plains of Venezuela, there's one name people won't say aloud. They just listen for a sound, a whistle, soft, falling, then rising again. But here's the trick. If it sounds far, he's near. If it sounds close, it may already be too late. They call him El Silbón, the Whistler, and the only thing worse than hearing him is not.
They say he was once a boy, not just any boy. He came from wealth. His family owned land, cattle, power, everything that mattered in the plains. But what he wanted above all was meat. Not just any meat, deer, freshly hunted. When his father failed to bring it, the boy didn't cry. He raged. He screamed. Then he killed him, with his bare hands or a blade, depending on the version. But what happens next never changes.
The grandfather found the boy and gave him no trial. He tied him to a post under the sun, whipped him with rawhide soaked in pepper and salt, poured alcohol on the wounds, rubbed in chili. Then he called the dogs, real hunting hounds, and let them loose. They chased the boy through the plains. Some say for hours, others say for days. But no one says he survived, because that's not how the story goes.
They buried what was left, but not his soul. He came back taller, thinner, hungry than before. Now he roams their nose at night, carrying a sack over his back. Some say it's filled with bones of his victims. Others say it's just his father's bones clinking forever. He wears a wide-brimmed hat. He walks slowly, deliberately. And wherever he goes, the whistle follows.
The rules are simple. You hear him, and you mocked. He finds those who drink too much, who beat their wives, who forget their elders, who disrespect the codes. He doesn't speak. He whistles. And the moment you stop hearing it is when he's closest.
To understand El Silbón, you need to understand Los Llanos. The Venezuelan plains are harsh, unforgiving, heat by day, insects by night. And in the 1800s, they were ruled by cattle barons, men with land, guns, and private justice. Out here, respect was enforced, not earned, and punishment was public. Fathers beat sons who disobeyed. Grandfathers burned shame out of bloodlines. And when people spoke of curses, they weren't always metaphorical.
Pepper and alcohol and open wounds. That happened. Dogs set upon the accused. That too. But the bigger truth is this. People needed ways to explain violence they couldn't control. When a man died drunk in the grass, they blamed El Silbón. When his son went missing after shaming his family, they whispered the curse. The myth wasn't born from fantasy. It came from memory. And pain.
Their noses are filled with ghost stories. La Seona, La Llorona, El Silbón. They aren't just meant to frighten children. They reinforce values. They remind people what happens when tradition is broken.
El Silbón doesn't kill randomly. He targets the type, the disrespectful, the arrogant, the violent. His justice is all unforgiving and not open to appeal. And that's why people still believe. Because his story aligns with guilt. Not just personal guilt, but national. He represents the consequences of unchecked pride, of failed fathers, of lost honour.
In some places, people leave out chili powder near their door, a dog's tooth beneath their pillow, a whip on the wall, each a symbol of his pain, used to keep him at bay. But they don't always work, because how do you stop something that lives in memory?
Every culture has a sound that signals doom. The knock, the scream, the whisper. In Venezuela, it's a whistle. Shrill, slow, falling, then rising. It sounds almost human. Almost.
This is myth based on truth, and in Los Llanos, some ghosts don't fade. They echo again and again like a whistle across the plain.
El Silbón doesn't knock. He doesn't beg. He warns. And when you hear him, that's the sound of something coming free.